What's up, guys? Let's give it a minute to make sure that this thing's working and people are jumping on live. All right, we got some people. We got some people on here now. What's up, man? It's been a while since I've gone on live. How's everyone's quarantine going? I have a special guest, Tracy, coming on right now. We tried doing this on her profile, and something was happening. So we're gonna see. Hopefully, it works right now. Let's see if this goes.
Yes!
All
Yes!
right.
Oh
So
my God,
it's your account that's the problem.
I can't believe that. Wow. Okay, we are finally working.
Yeah,
Yes.
so check this out, guys. We were trying to go on Tracy's live for a while, and I don't know why it wasn't working. They kept blocking me. I think Instagram's afraid of letting me on yours because I'm going to steal all your
It's
fans.
so bad. Like, do you know this guy pretended to be you? I just got catfished by
Yeah, the
like an
black dude?
African guy. It was
Yeah,
hilarious. Did you see that?
yeah, I watched his beatboxing and everything.
I was like, oh, cool. All right then.
Yeah.
But yeah, so oh my God, I was so excited to talk to you about your show because
Now I feel like I'm interviewing you, though.
I know. Should I get on top? Like,
So everyone, well, actually, I don't even really know much about you. What do you? I know you like into lifting and like fitness and all that stuff.
yeah, I'm just like a bodybuilder in the UK, and I became obsessed with your show
Uh-huh.
like a few years ago. And literally, I was in a relationship for like 3 years where I felt like my boyfriend at the time was just the biggest douchebag. And I watched all your videos on YouTube and literally the behavior of the people. I was like, oh, he does that. He does that. I think he's cheating. And I remember speaking to you and I was like, I think you were saying that you were going to shoot in London. And I was like, please test him. Like, because I already think he's going to fail. And
Yeah,
you said, at that point, when you think that about somebody, when you feel that way, it's because they're
yeah,
already doing something weird.
yeah.
And you were right. You were so bloody right. So
Was that a couple of years ago when you messaged me, or was that recently?
it was a while back, maybe a year or so ago, like maybe 18 months.
Yeah, because
Um,
when I some of these comments are funny.
okay, oh, go
um,
ahead. Fuck you.
that's funny. Oh, that's cool. So the UK, you know what? So like originally we were traveling and I've been wanting to go to the UK and Europe for a while, so
Mhm.
it's been a minute. But the whole quarantine happened. I actually was planning to go this year and that kind of didn't happen. So I don't know when that's gonna happen.
Oh, well, you could have
Everyone's
tested
saying stop
him.
looking at her boobs. Guys, my camera, I'm up here, she's down here.
She's down there. But yeah, like how did you get into doing To Catch a Cheetah? Like where did that come from? And it's so successful.
That's a long story. You know what? We did it as a thing. Like the very first video we did was kind of random, but
Hmm.
I didn't really know. Like I didn't know YouTube was a thing. I didn't know you can make money from it.
Yeah.
So we kind of did our very first video before I had the channel, and then that video got like 12 million views. So my very first
Whoa.
YouTube video ever did 12 million views and went real viral. We had
Insane.
like rappers and stuff sharing it, like Tyga, and then we had Charlie Sheen's, on their Facebook. So like all that stuff was
Wow.
just going viral. And
Yeah.
then from there, I think I'd moved to Atlanta. I was living out there for a little bit.
Yeah. Oh,
And then
sick.
after that, I came back and somebody actually offered to buy the episode for like $12,000.
So they'd have all
So
the rights to it and all the revenue from
yeah,
that.
well, like we didn't really understand, but see, the video had already been up for like 9 months. It already got the majority of its views. Then
Yeah.
somebody offered to buy it for $12,000,
Wow.
so they can take over the ads that run up on in the beginning,
Yeah, yeah.
and then they make money from that. And then, so Sam and me, my guy I filmed it with, we each made $6,000, and we just thought, wow, that
Nice.
was fucking easy.
Keep doing it.
So
Yeah. I
sort
love your
of,
camera guy.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He's funny as hell, man. He's in Dubai right now. He's in Dubai
Is
for like a
he?
month.
Is he stuck there?
No, no, he went out there to just go on vacation.
Okay. Yeah.
I think he
Oh,
had a couple of girlfriends out there. I don't really know.
yeah. 5, 6. Why not?
Yeah, but check this out. But check this out. Then from there, I did it because I didn't know what I was gonna do. So I was like, "What am I like a prankster or something? Like, what am exactly am I gonna do on YouTube?"
Yeah.
So I made another video. It was like a Tinder prank. So a lot of people don't know this. A lot of people don't know this about me, but we did a video with this girl named Holly where we went on Tinder and we matched with a bunch of guys. Now Holly is like a 10 in terms of her looks. Like she was
Yeah.
just a fucking dime, right?
Wow.
And then we matched her with a bunch of dudes, and she's like tall. She was like 5'9", 5'10", wore heels and stuff. We matched her with a bunch of dudes that are like 5 foot nothing, just super
Oh.
small. And we had them go on this date, this coffee date. So these guys are super excited to meet her. And while they're sitting at the date, we kind of cue her, and mid date she'd be like, oh my God, don't look. That's my ex-boyfriend. Oh my God, how the heck did he find me? Like he just got out of prison. You know?
And the
And
guy's
then
panicking.
the ex-boyfriend that showed up was my friend Terrence. He's like 7'1", this black
Please.
dude. He used to be a security guard at a strip club, That's how I met him. And then
Oh my.
and he came out in the video, so he was the ex-boyfriend that would show up, and these dudes are like 5'4", 5'3", super small, and he'd show up and start like talking to her like all rough, and then the dudes would be like, the girl would be like, do something, like, can you get rid of him, please?
Fight
You
him.
know? Yeah, can you get rid of my ex-boyfriend, please? And then like the guy
Oh.
was so scared. I thought it was a really funny video, and that got like 20,000 views only.
Yeah, it's mad, isn't it? You can put so much effort into something and it just
Yeah,
flops, and then you can do something on the spur of the moment and then it's like viral. And it's just
yeah.
insane. Like, yeah, sorry,
So
everyone's talking about my forehead. That's so awkward.
yeah, just put a hat on.
Yeah, I'm
Then
sweaty. I've had a bloody workout.
yeah, we tried going on live like 5 times right now. This is horrible.
It's the stress of trying to make technology work completely.
Yeah.
But do you find then, like, if you are shaming people as cheaters, does that like destroy people's trust in relationships, or does it strengthen it to show like the warning signs to look out for?
Um, man, that's hard to say because you're painting like a broad paintbrush for everyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. I guess everyone's like unique and everybody's different, and you can't say like all men are like that or all women are like that. But
Hmm.
at the same time, like, you must see so many warning signs to pick up on that. If one of your friends says, "I think this guy isn't been honest with me," I bet you could just be like, "Boom, boom, boom!" Like these are all the problems.
My friend Kat says I can't stop looking at her titties.
Oh, somebody says I'm friends with Sam. Oh,
Who the heck knows? There's a lot of people just commenting random stuff on there. People comment, "Oh, I'm Lucy's girlfriend." I'm like, huh?
why
You
the
know, get
because you
people
say
to click
hello
on
to
their profile.
somebody.
But
Do you
yeah,
find
dude.
it affects how you date then? Like if you're on this massive show that's so well known, it
No,
doesn't.
not
You're just
really.
like no, no.
No. I was cheated on when I was like 18. I don't know if you've ever experienced it, but most people,
Yeah,
I think like more than half people have.
yeah,
That even get to find out, right? Because then there's a lot of people that don't even know. But
no,
I think once I went through that when I was younger, I got older now. It's like I don't even care. Like if it
yeah.
happened, like sure you don't want it to happen. If it did, it's like I just move on.
If that's the worst thing that can happen, and then it happens, like what are you going to do about it? Really, like if somebody is going to be disloyal, dishonest,
Hmm.
that's the worst thing. And then you just go, oh, they're not a nice person. You just move on and meet someone that is a nice person.
Yeah, I think for
Um,
most guys, especially in their early 20s, and they're like when they're young and they're really like insecure, controlling,
yeah.
manipulative, jealous, and all that shit, territorial, violent.
Oh
You know what I mean?
gosh.
That's most
Yeah.
girls have experienced that whenever they date these guys because they're fucking
Yeah.
young. They don't really know themselves.
It's a part of
But
life, isn't it? And finding who you are. And also, like, you think when you're that young, you have only known your parents' love. So it's like really overwhelming, really full on. And then to like experience people that can deceive you, that can hurt you, to have your heart broken, you would never have a clue what that feels like until it happens to you.
mhm.
And I think that, yeah, it probably can dent your confidence and dent your trust in people. But at the same time, everybody goes through it. And I don't
It
think
builds
until you're
character.
like, yeah, man. So these
It
comments are
does.
so distracting.
I know, I see them. um, yeah, it builds character for
Yeah,
sure.
definitely. So you're like now like a relationship guru, like for guys that find it difficult to talk to girls or to get into a
I wouldn't say
relationship.
I'm a guru. I would say so. There was like mainly just as far as guys who have trouble. going out and meeting girls, like having a social life.
Yeah.
You know, I was running a separate channel. It has like 90,000 subscribers,
Oh,
and I
nice.
was putting out pickup videos, like giving dating advice basically for guys.
Okay.
But in like today's era, YouTube is like very frowns upon it a lot. So then they kind of suppress my videos because I was putting up vlogs on that channel. They're getting like 500,000 views. I
Yeah.
think my smallest video on that vlog channel was 100,000, 120,000 views, right? My smallest video.
Madness.
Then I put
Yeah.
out a dating video giving dating advice, and then that video got suppressed to like 30,000 views. Then I put out another video saying the 2 ways you can like get girls now or something like that. 2 things you can change right now,
Yeah.
right? And then that video got like 1,300 views. So it was obvious that YouTube is like really suppressing it because
Yeah.
there's a lot of culture going on with canceling that kind of stuff.
Yeah, it's madness how much social media has changed. Like you post pictures and they delete them, they remove them, they stop your engagement completely.
Yeah.
And that never happened before. You know, you could reach the whole world and have this freedom of speech. And
Yeah.
it's quite scary that, you know, so many things that they don't agree with, they can literally wipe off the face of the planet.
hmm
But it doesn't mean people aren't interested in it because it obviously gets the hits. So how
hmm
do you then go about still delivering that content, but making sure that people can find it, or can they not?
So with the dating stuff, I was doing it, and then my main business was running boot camps. So
Okay.
I was running a boot camp where guys would work with me for 3 days, and like I'm going out taking them out. It's
Teach.
they're 1,800. Yeah, it's paying 1,800 bucks, so it's like 600 a day basically. And then I take a few students out, and I'd go basically teach them to go approach women and talk to them.
Oh
A
wow.
lot of it just really goes back to their own personal anxiety and their own personal belief because it's interesting when I sit with someone and when I'm telling them go talk to that girl, just stop her and say hi.
They
Don't
panic.
expect nothing in return. If she's
Yeah.
whatever, like it doesn't matter. It doesn't fucking matter. Like, and then they'd be like, oh, I can't. And I'm like, I'd yell at them. I'd have to shake them sometimes and say,
Yeah.
listen, dude, I'm not telling you to go fuck her. I'm telling you to go say hi.
Say hello.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just say hello, right? But sometimes they need that push. So kind of like a personal trainer, anyone can get a gym membership, but if
Yeah.
they themselves are not like committed, they themselves have proven over time that they're not physically capable of doing it or being responsible for themselves,
They need
then they
guidance.
hire a trainer who kind of holds
Yeah.
accountability.
So
So in a way,
true.
I was kind of like a coach. So I'm helping them push past their mental block that they've created for themselves, and then kind
Yeah.
of giving them information to understand, like from a girl's perspective, how
Mm.
they see things and how they view men, and you know, the things they respond to versus things they say they want.
And they
And
don't really want that.
yeah,
It's
they've
so
never
true.
heard it. They've never heard
Yeah.
it. Most men don't know how to be men.
Yeah, yeah. Well, nobody
So
teaches them, do they? Like there's no book written yet, unless
there
you write
are.
one.
There
Are there?
actually are. There are. It's just they're hard to
Okay.
find. They're not mainstream media because, see, if a book gives advice on like basically stay on your path, do what you want, don't bend to your woman's desires kind of thing,
Mm.
like you need to stay on your path. Well, anyone can take that headline and say, oh, this guy, he's a sexist. He's not against this. But it's like
God.
what girls respond to more is a guy's behavior of him taking care of his business, being on his path in life.
Yeah.
And when a guy thinks he just needs to be all about a girl, she gets almost turned off by it, like disgusted. And
It's
she's
too
like, dude, go
much.
away, go do your thing. Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you
Yeah.
can't
It's the
preach certain things.
mistakes.
You can't preach certain things because then they get taken out of context.
I
So
think the world is, I don't know if you have it there, like a nanny state where everybody wants to be offended about something. You can
yeah,
say it as it is, and they're like, oh my God, I can't believe you said that and you did that. And what an
yeah.
awful person. But behind closed doors, they're saying and doing the same things.
This is
So,
why. This is one of the reasons I love my show. Is I don't know why I've been one of the few guys that has been able to get away with making like comments that people cannot do. I say
kills
like
me.
the same fucking funny jokes that people joke around with in their home. I say,
Yeah.
people are
Yeah.
scared to say like black jokes, but I say them because they're funny. You know
But
what I
you
mean?
know you're not being that way because you're just being normal and how we would be with our friends. You know, the whole world is, there's so many different cultures, there's so many different age ranges, genders now, you know, everything that is and isn't acceptable. But
Hmm.
we are all human and we can all communicate and we can be decent people. You know, people aren't doing it to be nasty. They're just being themselves.
It was funny. People need to stop being
Yeah.
sensitive, right? So I'm definitely
Yeah.
on that train. I did so I do a bunch of voiceovers on my show to like imitate people's voices, if you remember.
I love
And
when you
the
read the
funny thing
text
was,
out.
I've done like white girl voices, Hispanic voices, black voices. The one I got a lot of flack for was when I did an Asian voice.
Oh, okay.
And I don't know why, out of all the people, like that one, I got the most like backlash for making
Oh,
this Asian
wow.
accent that I did. It was pretty funny though.
It just kills me when you say stuff, you laugh and then you have to redo it. Like, I love the outtakes.
Yeah.
But
And
yeah,
funny enough, and then
that's
like
funny.
I'm hitting on the girls. I'm hitting on the girls that are sitting there getting heartbroken.
I know. That's the best. You're like, what are you doing after this? But
Like
I guess it
immediately
lightens
after.
the mood. Yeah, it lightens it, doesn't it? Because it's probably quite severe. Like if they're having their heart broken in front of you, and then you're like zooming in on their boobs.
Yeah.
It just kills me. I love that. It's just what people would do with their own eyes. You know, like if you were looking at a
Hmm.
screen, you would go and like stare at someone's butt or something, and it's
Yeah.
literally the camera guy just doing that, and that's what makes it so approachable because it's real.
Yeah.
And, you know, everything's just so kind of censored and fake these days. To see something like that, it feels like you're just joking with your friends.
Yeah.
Uh, and it is so rare, like it's brilliant. I literally just binge watched the whole show like a year ago and absolutely loved it. And it was so relatable.
Hmm.
But do you find then that like girls then get really insecure because of it, or guys get really insecure? Like if you could say, you know, how
Yeah.
people feel about
Some people
dating.
message me that like I make them insecure. The show makes them insecure and stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But it's like, you know, I mean, if you use your common sense, there's what, like 7 billion, 8 billion people in the world. You're
Yeah.
seeing
It's
one
impossible.
video with 20 million views, and you're thinking 20 million people are doing this. And it's like, people got to understand, like, this is just one instance of something. You know, it's not
Out of
everybody.
millions.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Do you get
Because
a
there's
lot of people that don't
that path.
cheat?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But see, the thing is, our show, we don't post them.
Yeah.
So then when you land on our show, it just seems like everyone's a cheater, but it's really not. You
Oh,
know what I mean?
yeah. So how many out of 10 cheat then, would you say? Like if the average 10 couples came in, how many would you say fail?
I would say because the ones that reach out to us are already in a place, they're
Quite deep.
generally more right than they are wrong. But I would
Yeah.
say maybe like probably like half.
Yeah.
But some of
Wow.
them, I think the ones that pass sometimes, because like some of them, people just get suspicious and they're like, when someone approaches them, they like literally get suspicious because the girl's just too strong and they
Yeah,
just
yeah.
walk away. And I'm like, if it was different, if she was a little bit more slick about it, I
Yeah.
want to be curious to see how he would do it, you know?
Yeah, no, that's so true. But what are the kind of like top warning signs to look out for if you think your partner's been unfaithful? Do you have like this list where you say like they will definitely be doing one of these three things and that's what you need to be cautious of? Like, does that run through most of the cheaters that you
This,
meet?
I'd say distance.
Mm.
Distance is number one. Like in whatever way you feel it, whether
Yeah,
it be in person or over the phone or something like that, you just feel that distance. You
yeah,
know, I'm not necessarily that they're cheating, but it's like, even you, I'm sure, have you ever been in a relationship where you mentally checked out before you physically did,
yeah,
right?
definitely.
So when you
Mm.
do that, you kind of, start creating some distance.
Yeah, okay. And another way of looking at distance, like actually
So they're not
physically.
cheating. They're not cheating. They're called entanglements.
Oh, that's so bad, isn't it? Oh God, I feel so bad for Will Smith. But that's the thing, like so many like celebrities are in open relationships. And I guess
Hmm.
a lot of people are probably in open relationships without knowing, you know, for half of what their partners are doing.
A lot
Um,
of girls are in relationships with guys, and the guys don't even know.
yeah, I didn't even realize. But I think it's, do you know, it's the way the world is. Like, I was engaged from a really young age and spent my whole adult life like thinking I'm getting married, I've got a family, settled down. And then, you know, we broke up and I have kids and I was like, oh my God, what am I going to do? Became single, you know, dating. Everybody's just sleeping around, like seeing multiple girls at once, girls going for dinner with one guy one night, sleeping with a guy the next night, kissing a guy the next morning.
Yeah.
And it's the way the world is. Like, it's so different to when I was raised, you know.
You
And I
say you
think,
have kids or no?
yeah,
How
I
many?
have
I didn't even know.
two kids.
All right.
Yeah, so my daughter's 12 and my son is 8, so they're kind of like there. But you
Well,
know, when
check,
I grew up, you were with someone for your whole life when I grew up, like grandparents together forever.
well, check this
And
out. Hold on a second. Stay on there. You can keep talking. I'm grabbing something.
what's he doing? His
So
dog's.
there's a really good book. It's probably
Hmm.
gonna be backwards for everyone on here. It's called
Sex with
Sex at
Dawn.
Dawn. All
Okay.
right. I
Hmm.
would recommend this to anyone. It's not an easy read, but it's very informative. But it basically explains as far as monogamy and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And basically, it's basically like this. So, like, if you look at the entire time span that humans have occupied this earth, it's only
Yeah.
the last 5% of time that we've been on this earth that we have practiced monogamy. That
Yeah.
means for 95% of the time before, now people were having
Came
sex with
around.
everyone, right?
Yeah.
So what was normal in village life was a girl would be a part of a village, and there'd be like this, whenever she's ovulating, there'd
Alpha
be like,
male comes along.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
they'd have like 20 different dudes would have sex with her. I
Where's
know,
this village?
lucky her, right?
Oh my
Like 20 dudes would have
god.
sex in the same time, in the same day. They'd all come in her, and then the most fertile semen is going to make its way into the body and
I don't know whose kid
these
it
babies.
is. Yeah, they all just live together.
And humans used to be roaming, just kind of like the way lions do and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So generally, they would stick together for about 3 to 4 years up until that baby's up and moving. Then they
Okay.
would part ways, and they do it again with other partners.
Wow.
And it basically explains that we have a very natural hardwiring for survival and replication. So pretty
Mm.
much every decision you make in your life is either to serve it or not serve it, kind of thing.
Okay.
So
Yeah, to go against it.
the
Mm.
reason we work out and get stronger is to increase our level of survival and replicating healthier offspring. And
Yeah.
everything we're kind of doing is for that reason, right?
Makes so much
And
sense.
once we started growing crops and once we started being tied to land, we weren't
Mm.
roaming anymore. Then it made better sense
Yeah.
for couples to stay put, and then they kind of, you know, assign work to each other because they're sharing this land.
Like
Then
having
it became a
roles.
thing of like royalty to keep families wealthy.
Mm.
You know what I mean? They'd marry. Like this is where marriage got introduced and stuff.
Arranged marriage for money and power.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But now, I mean, we're in 2020, and it's like, does a girl really need a guy to protect her from a saber-toothed tiger? These days, it's like not really, right? And most girls,
Yeah.
they have the option if they want to take that route, they can go out and have a phenomenal career, do whatever, they make their own money. They don't
Mm.
necessarily need a guy, right?
Yeah.
So, with that being said, if you want to be in a monogamous relationship, I think just be honest about it. I
Yeah.
think if you want to be in an open relationship, just be honest about it.
Yeah.
And I found as a guy, because guys think they're all nervous to tell girls, oh, like that they're seeing other girls. I found if you just tell a girl up front,
Mm.
that you're not interested in being serious and you're open, you like
Just
having
having
fun.
fun. Yeah.
Yeah, most girls are like kind of cool with that. And if they
Yeah.
eventually find someone who's more with what they want, well, then they go do that.
That is
You
so
know what I
true. Like,
mean?
and that's kind of what's happened in my last relationship. So we were together for almost 3 years, and
Mm-hmm.
when we met, I just thought he was a player, which I don't have a problem with players because you don't get involved then emotionally. You can have a nice time, you can spend time together, you know where you stand. But it's when somebody tells you that they are something they're not, when they
Mm-hmm.
try to convince you otherwise, it's like a wolf in sheep's clothing. And you say, well, you're doing this, you're doing that. I really don't trust that what you're saying is truthful. And I think from what I've experienced, like a guy wants to date you and wants you to be faithful and wants you to be honest and to go through your whole life with a fine tooth comb, to kind of keep you at home like a trophy wife whilst he sleeps around. And if he was to say to you, I'm seeing other girls, this is just a bit of fun, you know where you stand. It's fine. You decide if you want to be a part of that or not. But when
Mm-hmm.
he's saying, I'm not doing this, you're paranoid, it's this, it's that, she's just a friend. It's that cliche of, making you then, well, they call it gaslighting, don't they?
Yeah.
Believing that you're misinterpreting something or you're
Yeah.
doing wrong.
Yeah. Girls do the
Um,
same thing.
yeah, exactly. And
He's
at
just a
the
friend, baby, I
point,
swear.
yeah, it's mad. And you're just like, oh God, and it's not. And it's one of those things that I joined TikTok and I'm like making all these harsh videos about exes. Everyone seems to be breaking up now. And it's so addictive because you're like, oh my God, that's what he did. That's what he did.
Yeah.
And I think it's just, this pattern repeats continuously. And I kind of now believe that I don't think I will be with the same person for the rest of my life. I don't think that's humanly possible anymore. I think it's just small stints of hooking up with somebody, staying together for a bit, and then moving on to the next person once the honeymoon period kind of dies off. I actually don't believe in marriage anymore,
Yeah.
which is
You're not a
quite
lot of guys
interesting.
DMing you now.
But I'm happy in that way. I think
Mm-hmm.
knowing that you don't have somebody constantly lying to you and telling you it's the opposite of what it really is, that
Mm-hmm.
just messes with your head. And if you just got someone that you know is a complete flirt, that he's charismatic, that he's good looking and strong and successful, you have great sex, you don't need anything more from them. You don't need for them to pretend to be your knight in shining armor.
You're
Just
just
know where you
describing me
stand.
now.
Yeah. That lives in America, not England. But yeah, it's about honesty. And I think a lot of people can't truly be honest about what they're doing and what they want in life.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that's what's quite rare, really, is to know where you truly stand. So you said something about being pegged. What the hell was that? Did you just see that comment?
Yeah, I want to peg you. Yeah, let's see some of these. All right, guys, ask some interesting questions. We'll answer it now.
Mm. Where are your followers from then? Are they around the world or are they in America?
I have no idea. I don't really go on live on this To Catch a Cheater one, so we'll see. I
Oh,
recognize some names in there.
do you get like really diehard fans following you everywhere you go?
I think I have one of the most interesting DM boxes ever.
Love it.
From crazy stories to like people sending me stories of what happened and videos and photos,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
To
Yeah.
like, and I just always reference people who go to Catch a Cheaters instead of mine, right? Because they DM me. Then then like 6 months will pass and they go, never mind, we broke up, right? And then
Yeah, yeah.
then they send me videos of them like touching themselves. Like I get the craziest fucking videos. You know
Just a
what I mean?
meat fest in your inbox. I love that.
Just like, fuck, dude, these people are nuts. I'm like,
Yeah,
I wouldn't
yeah.
know wonder this guy cheated on you.
Oh, it's crazy. But that's the thing, like I think this is something that I struggle with. I don't know if you find it the same because like guys and girls are different, but being in the public eye, like being on social media and stuff, my Instagram account's like one of my smallest accounts.
Hmm.
But my inbox is full of man meat. Like all you get is messages like that, videos like that. And I think people just see that you have followers and then they hit you up. Whereas if you had like one follower, they would never speak to you, like without a doubt.
Sure.
And yeah, my ex got really insecure about that and just said like, you're just going to go off with the celebrity or you're going to go off with this guy and that guy because they're all reaching out to you. So I
Hmm.
think that affects your confidence because you kind of want that ego boost where your
It affects
partner
your
only has eyes for you.
confidence or
Like
his?
his.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
got really jealous and insecure and then turned to literally any woman he could find for affirmation, like to flirt and have an ego boost and to have a one night stand.
Hmm.
Whereas I was like completely faithful and he's there going, oh, but you might not be, or this might happen, that might happen. And he's the one that then
Hmm.
goes off. So,
Hmm.
that in itself kind of was the opposite of his fears, was him thinking I was going to do it to him because it's so easy to do that in the public eye, but then he was the one that went and did it to me. I was like, you goose.
That's funny. Um, yeah, that's just an insecure person.
Yeah. And
I
I
personally
think
don't care. I like it. I like it. If my girlfriend gets attention, like
yeah,
I like it for some reason. I'm sick in the head,
confident.
maybe.
Yeah,
Huh?
but it's
Yeah.
kind of you want somebody that is confident and attractive where you have chemistry. All the things that attract you to them are also going to attract other people to them. So you need
Hmm.
to stand tall and say like, that's my girlfriend or that's my wife or that's my husband or boyfriend. You can't sit there and then feel sorry for yourself that what you loved about a person other people still love, because I think it will just eat you alive and you will just become a nervous wreck, like if you allow that to overwhelm you, or just
I've
go for
gotten
a
so many
painting.
comments in here talking about pegging and shit.
So that's a strap on, isn't it? I've heard about this. They want to peg you or they want to be pegged by you.
I don't know. Yeah, just let me peg it. Oh
Why are you
man.
saying daddy?
Yeah. It's the new thing.
Is interesting comments for
Yeah, I
sure.
wanted some interesting questions, guys. These are fucking filthy ones.
Yeah, like wow. So can you still record now then because of quarantine, or where do you stand with that? Have people still been
Yeah.
cheated on in lockdown?
Yeah, we haven't posted a video in a long time.
Mm.
Yeah.
Is that
It's been a
just from
while.
social media censoring and things?
A little bit of that, and then also like we got comfortable with the money we made, and then we're kind of just chilling.
It's so
Sam's in,
funny.
Sam's in Dubai for a month, so I'm not filming until he's probably back, which will be a while.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I got a lot of free time. I'm working. I got a property I'm working on right now, and it's kind of keeping me busy.
Are you going to do a YouTube on that, like renovations? I love
I
stuff
just put
like
it on my
that.
Instagram story. It's on my Instagram. You know
Yeah.
the saves things, whatever they're called.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. You can just put them on there. That's pretty cool.
Hmm. A
Everyone's
highlight
asking what the
section.
next video is. See.
I think we have like a couple videos
um.
that just haven't been edited. They're ready to upload. But
Mm.
if we ever go to the UK, we'll for sure reach out to you and have you be
Yeah.
our decoy.
I need some karma in my life to go and catch people cheating because it happened to me. So I'm like, but then I think I'd just go batshit and then like jump on people and be like, man. Like you must want like revenge when somebody's done something bad to you, you know? Like it's it's tough.
That's funny. Um,
What's like the most memorable episode that you had that you were like, oh my god?
one where me and Sam almost got our ass kicked. There was like a mob of dudes. We were supposed to be following this boyfriend, but then
Mm,
there was like a group of guys. There's probably like 10 of them. And they
wow.
saw us recording from a distance. I'm like, how the fuck? They were all drunk. I'm like, how did you guys even see us as drunk as you were? So they started walking towards us, and I said, oh God. I said, Sam, whatever you do, don't give them the camera. You
Yeah,
know, don't give them the camera. And then one of them was, they were going more after Sam because he was holding the camera.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
I was kind of just like trying to like break things apart.
That's
But
so bad.
I think for sure, I'm like, God damn it, dude. Like, I'm pretty confident, but it's like, there's a lot of these guys here.
Outnumbered.
Yeah, yeah, it's just a lot. I'm like, fucking, they're all drunk. But nothing ended up happening. They got crazy, but it just kind of died down.
You're okay. That is so
Hmm.
lucky. I was gonna say because you probably need like bodyguards and stuff. I know when you say like I'm filming for our own security and yours, and then people are
Yeah,
like, okay, okay, I'm gonna calm down then. But what
yeah,
happens then, like you say, if there's a group of people and they see what's going on and they go ape, like there's nothing you can do. It's
yeah.
just
I know.
mad.
It's
I'm
fucked.
reading your
Hey,
comments.
everyone's been telling me to create an OnlyFans. What do you think?
I think you should. Do you know what? Actually, some of my friends use OnlyFans. I have OnlyFans. I love it. So my friends are using it and they're doing like non-explicit content. So they literally
Hmm.
want people cooking cakes on it, telling jokes, uploading episodes of what you do. You can have a free one, you can have a paid for subscription. But a really big thing, they want to push it away from porn. And I don't use OnlyFans for porn. I use it for modeling. So I do like photo shoots and things. Whereas other people are doing some really crazy stuff.
No, I'm thinking of
Um,
doing the crazy stuff.
I do glamour. I do glamour. I think that's fun. But yeah, I mean, you could. I mean, you can use it for whatever reason you want, really. But I know they're steering away from sexual content.
Hmm.
So literally everybody and anybody is getting OnlyFans right now, especially in quarantine. I mean, would you do that? Would you do porn? Is that something that
No,
you're
I wouldn't
interested in?
actually. I'm
You
joking.
wouldn't.
No.
Did
Or
you
would
just
I?
think about that?
No. But
um,
yeah,
yeah,
I've
I
been
saw
seeing
you
people
did a thing
commenting
on.
that.
Oh, sorry.
No, what's up?
I saw you did a thing like so you did To Catch a Cheater, and then you did a Gold Digger edition. So
Hmm.
girls that literally use guys for money. Where is
Hmm.
that going then? How many shows are you doing with that? Are you doing more of it?
Well, so to get, man, that's crazy. So we were trying to get it picked up as a TV show, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we've had 5 different production companies reach out to us wanting to purchase us, I guess. And
Yeah.
we turned down every deal. Like, trust me, like we were when the very first one we sat with was like American Chainsaw Productions or something like that. They're based in
Mm-hmm.
Texas, and they do like kind of raunchy content. So they were wanting to
Okay.
see about us, right? And then we
Mm-hmm.
were talking about like budget and like basically we talked about all these ideas, but really we're like, okay, well, what kind of money would we make? So we
Yeah.
asked like, what would be a budget for like an episode? We're trying to be all casual. Sam and I
It's
are
like
like,
millions, isn't it? So expensive for television.
No, 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 no. We were like, we were sitting at this business table, and it's Sam and I, and all these business dudes and stuff. And we're like, so what would be a budget for an episode? And they'd say, they're like, it'd be under anywhere between 280 to 310 per episode. And we're like,
Yeah,
oh, okay. We're like, 1,000.
1,000.
Yeah. And he goes, yeah. I'm like, oh, okay. Like acting calm, like that wasn't a big number to me. And Sam and I are
Yeah.
just kicking each other under the table, like,
You're
fuck.
like,
But
television's so
what people don't
expensive.
understand about TV
Yeah.
is a production company puts up money, but a network purchases a show,
Hmm.
and then the network immediately scrapes half the budget right when they take it
Yeah.
because any show they kind of go by a 2 season debt where they take on
Hmm.
a show and they go in debt for the first 2 seasons where they're just working to break even, and then it's
Okay.
only
Yeah.
if you make it to season three would you guys really start seeing money because they broke it
Wow.
down to, so if it was 300,000 they cut off half, so now you're left with 150,000. Literally, Sam and I would only have like 5% ownership. Is literally
Five
like the
percent
deal
of
we
your
were
own
getting.
show. That's
So on
mad.
that, we're talking about 15,000 an
Per
episode,
episode.
split
Yeah.
in half. We're talking about 7,500 an episode,
Oh,
and we're like,
jeez.
we make more money on YouTube. And they go,
Yeah.
I know
Yeah.
that's just the way things are. If we make it to season three, there's negotiating for
A
new
lot.
contracts and more money.
Yeah.
But the show has to become something before we can take on that
Yeah.
debt. You know, we're taking all the risk.
Oh,
So
so you
Sam and
need to
I,
set up your own production company.
we could, but then a network would have to take a risk to purchase us. Long story
Yeah.
short, we did it like 5 times, including with Howie Mandel. We got like the furthest with
Oh,
him. He
yeah.
was American Critical Productions. They do Catfish, a show called Catfish.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, so they wanted to keep us kind of copying Catfish's formula,
Yeah.
but
Yeah. It's
we
that
just
same
really
risk,
didn't want to
isn't
forfeit the show, so we kind of just
it?
held off on that idea. But we have
Yeah.
all these production companies that still talk to us, so they asked
Mm.
us if we had any other ideas. We did the Gold Digger one, and we shot it
Yeah.
more like a TV format. And then
Mm.
they were funny, they're entertaining, but they also passed on those. Now we're on Amazon Prime. I don't know if you
Yeah.
know that.
I didn't know that. No.
Yeah,
That's
we got picked for
insane.
Amazon Prime. Then we have, I mean, people purchase our content from other countries all the time.
Oh
So
my God, amazing.
one of the ways we make money is like there's places in like fucking Turkey or just wherever, like these
Play it.
countries, completely different languages. They just purchase
Yeah.
the right to use our show. They translate it and then they pay us money.
Oh,
So we take our
sweet.
same episodes and we're just selling them over and over and over again as many times as
Yeah.
we can.
The way to do it, definitely. I think like nowadays with phones in our hands all the time, we view YouTube and social media way more than I'd ever watch television. It's kind of convenient, it's on the go. So actually you think that, getting this on TV will be amazing, which undoubtedly it would be, but actually you're probably killing it now as you are, that you're best keeping it, organic and true to you rather than, like you say, selling it off for like 5%, which is
Hmm.
ridiculous. But
Yeah,
as a creator, like that must really infuriate you.
a little bit. It's all right. The money's been okay. I know that I'm definitely, not that I care, but I'm definitely more famous than a lot of these people you see on TV.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like, I get stopped pretty much every day. Like, there's someone that spots me from somewhere.
Does that
And
mean that like you can't go anywhere or you can't cheat because everyone's gonna like take a picture and send it to your girlfriend?
now I don't get hounded like that, but people say what's up, or like I just catch
Yeah.
people just staring at me for a while, and then like
And
I'll turn away and then I'll look back and their phone's just pointing at me, and I'm like, you can just ask for a picture, man. Like,
yeah, yeah.
I think they're so embarrassed to do it.
Oh, has it changed how you feel about yourself, knowing that you have a following? Like, do you feel like you're the same person that you were before you had like one follower? Or do you feel now like you've got a bigger ego? Do you feel more confident? Like, how has that affected your life?
Nah, because I started YouTube when I was older. I was 20, I think 8 when I
Oh,
started. So
wow.
I think a lot of young kids when they get on YouTube, that's part of their identity.
Yeah.
I kind of was already like my own person.
Established. Yeah.
Yeah, and then when
No,
I came on YouTube, it's something I do. It's not really who I am. So I
yeah.
don't know.
Oh no, that's awesome. That's really cool. Like, what advice do you give to people then that feel like they're not good enough for their partner, and like someone's walking all over them, they're a bit of a doormat?
I mean, everyone's different. I would just recommend people to certain books that really give good advice, I would say.
Yeah.
Because you know, sometimes you can tell a person like a girl who's in like an abusive relationship, and I've come across many, and like you can tell them even, but they're not going to hear it. Like they
Yeah.
just, it's almost like they just have to go through it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
like you would a daughter, it's like it hurts because you're watching them hurt themselves, but
Mm.
you can't do nothing about it. And
Yeah.
it's kind of like, and then if you try too hard, and they stop talking to you.
Yeah. Yeah.
So in a way, it's kind of like when people are going through that, it's almost like, hey man, well, I'll be here for you when you come back, but
Yeah. Like I
you should
told you
read.
so.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I'll recommend them a book, and that way, if they learn it through the book, then they can have that mental like switch go off, and they realize, holy fuck.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you know, it can ruin friendships if you try to tell someone,
Oh,
because then they like,
massively.
you know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Because I went through that with my, oh my God, it's like everything you're saying is
Mhm.
so true to life. But yeah, my family were like, do you know what? I don't think this guy's right for you. My best friend's getting married. She's like, are you really going to marry him? And I was like, no. And she said, so just cut him off. He's a jerk. And
I
something
can't.
inside of me, I wasn't ready, you know? Yeah. I
Yeah,
was just like, can't.
and then, so let's just say you get up the courage to break up with him, and you're
Mm.
good for like a week or two,
Yeah, then he
but then
says
you
you're
go
doing
back to
well. He
him.
cries. You take him back.
Then you go back to him, but then you feel embarrassed to tell your friends, oh, I can't
Yeah.
tell my family. So then it becomes a secret. And then
Yes, it
you
happens.
start connecting high anxiety and a high emotional state with
Yeah.
that. And then
Mm.
that's like what you live in that anxiety for. And then when you're out
Months.
of it, you're so bored that you almost want to go back to it because you're toxic and you're
Yeah.
addicted to it.
Yeah.
Like you're
It's
addicted to that
unavoidable.
toxic energy, right?
Yeah,
So
massively. Massively. And even after we broke up, we still saw each other for like 6 weeks. And it was that whole thing of you still sleep together because you have chemistry, but then you're kind of emotionally hurt and disconnected. And then you argue over small things. Then you're like, I don't care. I hate you. Then you're like, I want to sit on your face. So it's like this really
then
bad
you're like, you have
limbo.
those nights where you just turned on, you just want to have sex with
Yeah.
them, and you're like, oh,
Yeah, it's just like makeup sex, but then you don't get back together. But then you're like, this is wrong. And then you're like, and in your friend's phone, hey, what are you doing? I'm doing my laundry, but you're not. You're just like, oh, I can't tell them. And it's,
yeah.
you know,
Have you
it's really
talked to the
confident.
girl? No, fuck him. He doesn't deserve my attention. But little do
Yeah,
they know, the night
I'm
before you were
over
over.
him. I'm under him.
That's
It's just
funny.
so bad. But yeah, everyone goes through it. And like you say, like it can really mess up friendships when you see someone you love and care about and you're saying, like, don't let somebody do this to you. And you want to take their advice, but then you want to still do what you're doing because it's familiar. Like, how long do you think a relationship takes to end then? Like, from the point when you break up, at what is it different for everybody? When do you actually say it's over? I'm okay. I've moved on. Like, is that days, weeks, months,
You
years?
know, man, so I was in a almost 7 year relationship from 18 to 25,
Mm,
like practically married, lived together, had a
same
dog,
with me.
everything.
Yeah.
So when we broke up, for me, it personally took me until I was about 30. So about
Mm,
5 years to really like, I moved on. I started seeing new people. I actually had two more relationships after her,
mm-hmm.
but I really wasn't truly over her.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until I turned 30 and we went cold turkey when we broke up. So when we met up again when we were 30 once, I sat across the table and I just looked at her like when we met up to go to just get coffee kind of thing. And I was just staring at her and thinking, what the fuck was I so in love with her? You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I still saw all the toxic energy from her. I still saw, I'm like, wow, like you didn't work on yourself at all.
No. Yeah.
And I'm
Some people
like,
never change.
so here's some pros and cons, right, for guys and girls when you get over it, when you get out of a relationship.
Uh-huh.
For a girl, this is what pisses guys off a lot, is that when a girl gets out of a relationship, you can literally just raise your hand and there's 1,000 dudes ready to fuck you and take you out and like right then and there, right?
Yeah.
For a guy, when he gets out of a relationship, you know, I say, is your confidence high or low? It's low.
Mm,
When a guy's
yeah.
confidence is low, do more or less girls show up?
Less.
Less girls,
Yeah.
right? When a
Yeah.
girl's confidence is low, do more or less guys show up? It's like
They're the
more.
shoulder to cry on. There's so many.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
what happens is it's also hardwired in a girl's DNA to naturally be able to get over a relationship faster than guys.
Yeah.
Because back in the village days, let's just say, if
Mm.
your husband or your protector was killed by a fucking saber-toothed tiger,
Yeah. You go to the
if you didn't
next.
open you have to open up your heart ready for the next alpha male that comes along
Mm.
for safety reasons, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Survival.
Yeah, exactly. So girls naturally can adapt to the next guy faster, whereas guys will act like we are, but we're stuck on that for a while. Um,
It's good to know.
but
It's
basically,
really good.
here's the thing: the pros and cons about that is this: if you're a
Mm,
23-year-old girl and you just got cheated on or dumped or whatever, you have to
yeah.
take responsibility for everything that happens in your life.
Yeah.
Even if you got cheated on, you just have to tell yourself, I was a part of it. I
Yeah.
somehow played an influence in that happening, right?
Mm,
And what happens is a lot of younger girls don't work on themselves because they don't have to.
no,
Because, like I
they
said,
can
there's
just
just another guy
replace.
willing to pick them up, right?
Yeah.
Whereas most guys, not every guy, but I think a lot of the guys I surround myself with,
Mm,
we go through it, but then we use that time to build and work on ourselves and
yeah.
educate ourselves and come out better. And if you
Mm,
don't do that, then what happened with her and I, we split at 25. When I got to 30, I just saw where I was at in my life. I pulled
yeah.
up in my Maserati, like everything's, I'm debt free, hundreds of
Killing
thousands of dollars.
it.
And I almost look better at 30 than I did at 25.
Yeah.
And then like I sat there across the table from her and like she aged. She just became more toxic. She never worked on herself. And it's
Wow.
kind of like, fuck, man.
Lucky
Like,
escape. Yeah.
so
Yeah.
but the reason I bring it up is because after we broke up after 7 years, she was in another relationship like in 3 months. And I'm like,
Uh,
what the fuck? Like, how?
how
And it
quick.
pissed me
Yeah.
off. But what that was is her not choosing to work on herself. She just
No.
found the next guy, right?
Like a
Whereas it took
rebound.
me years of working on myself.
Mm.
But now, I give a little smirk and I'm like, I'm happy for you.
Yeah, yeah. Oh my God, I love that. But that's the thing, like, I've never parted ways badly with exes. Like it's always been on that kind of thing of saying that I don't see this being marriage and children.
Hmm.
It's been lovely knowing you and I wish you all the best. But with my ex, it was so toxic. It almost got to the point of hatred. It was
Yeah.
like lust and hatred. And that's when you know like you just cannot save that. Um, and at the same time, I was then moving on after it broke up, and he was then telling me he wasn't when he was, but then coming crying back. And it's that thing of, do you ever take somebody back when it's gone so badly wrong? We're all human, we all make mistakes. Not everybody cheats, but a lot of people do. Can you then learn to love and trust them again, or when it's done, should it be done forever?
Me personally, every relationship when I've ended, I've gone cold turkey.
Mm.
So all of them, like I completely just, I don't want anything to do
Yeah.
because that's just me though. Because, well, my first one I did the back and forth thing with, but everything
Yeah.
after that, I just realized, you know what, there is none of this to, like I'm through, I've been there, I'm not into it no more. So I just
Yeah.
cut it off.
Yeah, no, that's
And
a good way to do it. I think I should have done cold turkey like the day after, and I didn't. I did like room temperature turkey for like 6 weeks.
here's the thing, you're talking about if you still hate the guy, that
Mm.
means you still care, right?
Yeah, I
Because
don't know how I feel.
the moment
Yeah.
people usually end things is when they
Mm.
just don't care at all anymore.
Okay. Yeah.
Because
So
to
to
hate,
have
you have to love a
emotion.
person. Yeah. But to
Yeah.
have no emotion whatsoever, you're just like empty now, then
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
check out. Then you can leave because you're kind
Yeah.
of emotionally drained and there's
Mm.
nothing left,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah. I think most relationships are almost over when you're in that relationship, when you can see it going downhill and you start being snappy and disrespectful. Then when it actually comes to the breakup, you've almost already been through the mourning process of like grieving the good times, because
Hmm.
it's you always have like that decline before it ends.
Yeah.
So I think like, when it actually ended, I was relieved. And then it took me a while to feel emotion about it. Whereas I think he immediately felt emotion and then switched off afterwards. So we did it in the opposite way, really.
Mm-hmm.
But that's good to know, like, everybody's different. And I think cold turkey probably is the best bet for most people. I wish I did that sooner.
Yeah. Cool. Well, let's kind of end this live, but do
Yeah.
you want to, I guess, give them your Instagram? I'll probably try to pin it when I post this.
To be honest, I'm really crap with technology, so hopefully you can figure out how to do it. But it's just tracykiss.com. And it's been really lovely to speak to you. Thank you.
Nice officially meeting you.
Yeah. Take care. I'll see you soon.
All right, talk to you.
Bye.